me for hours, and sometimes Sarah was in the kitchen listening for 6 hours a day, and 3 days of that was a lot of listening. It was a lot of time she was spending with me, a lot of patience she was exercising, and a lot of times she could have told me to be quiet or get to work and don't talk so much, but she never once did tell me that I can remember in this account. She may have told me to be quiet and get to work, but I can't remember that, and it wasn't so many years ago that I think I've forgotten that. All I know is that she listened and listened and listened and showed me tremendous love and support. I think all of us need a little Jesus Christ in our life. I spent a lot of time seeing Jesus in visions and meeting Jesus in visions. I spent a lot of time dialoguing with Jesus back and forth in my mind. And yet with all this time spent with Jesus in my mind and seeing him in visions, we all need someone who's a person that can be a Jesus Christ to us in the flesh. And Sarah was that, as well as a mum and dad. Robin and Paul Moulds were certainly models to me of who Christ was living in the flesh on earth. And they were tremendous support and loving to me. I was a very angry person. I believed in the Old Testament prophets, and I believed in a judgmental and a vengeful God. I certainly believed in a God that was a lot more angry and judging than the God that Sarah believed in. But initially she kept her opinions to herself and kept her opinions of how wrong I was to herself, and she just listened to me and talked to me and shared things with me from her own life from time to time, and she just encouraged me to be me and to be comfortable around her. I very prophetic, and often I get scripture verses for a person, or I get a prophetic word for a person, and I couldn't get anything on Sarah. Normally the Lord would give me quite a bit of information about any person I'm mixing with, if it's his will, and most times he'll give me something on a person, and I cared about Sarah, and she was someone I wanted to know more about, and I wanted to be a better friend of. And so I asked the Lord, and all he said was that she was an unbroken stallion. And I know that an unbroken stallion, a horse, is no good for racing until it's been broken. And when its will's been broken, it becomes a usable horse that can be used by a rider and ridden in races to win races, and then go off and become a stallion and breed racehorses. And God was saying that she had tremendous strength, tremendous character, tremendous ability that could do great works, but at present she was unbroken, which sounded like that there was going to be a season of pain or a season of something happening in her life that was going to model her into becoming a champion that she could be as a champion racehorse, which a champion breeding stallion would be. So I had this idea about Sarah from God, and it was very exciting to hear that. I wanted to know more, but God wouldn't tell me more, and Sarah didn't talk so much about her own life. She listened to me a lot, as I've said, and so it was an enjoyable process getting to know her more and more as the weeks progressed. God bless.